Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. You're listening to another video for League of Legends. This one featuring Veigar. This is taken from a ranked game. This is a game, one of the games I did just after placement matches in ranked. And I'm going to be playing as Lux in this video, but we're not going to be focusing on me, aside from a couple little peeks in at different points in time. We're going to be focusing on Veigar in this game, who is the mid laner. Veigar is one of the oldest champions in League of Legends. He is not only one of the original 40 champions that they had on release, I believe he's one of the first champions that was made available in the beta. He is essentially a black mage. He is an AP mid caster. I guess you don't have to play him in mid, but he is definitely an AP caster, deals magic damage. He has kind of the unique feature of being one of the few champions in the game that has infinite scaling. That is, his little specialty is he gains ridiculous amounts of ability power as the game goes on. You see Garen on the enemy team running in here. But it's not going to turn to any immediate action. He got some initial harass on me, and we were not able to... Oh, I think he was trying to bait our team into a fight in this brush, but didn't end up working. I'm just going to back so I can be full health when the game starts. As I was saying, Veigar's specialty is he has infinite AP scaling based on his passive. That is, he can get a theoretically unlimited amount of ability power, and that means that he is one of the only champions in the game that really can get over 1,000 ability power if the game goes on long enough. Now, he's not really used in the competitive scene. He has some major weaknesses, his biggest one being that he has no escape skills. He has no real maneuverability, but he is pretty good at shutting down enemy champions who do have maneuverability. And for that reason, he's a pretty decent matchup against Ahri, as we're going to see in the mid here, for reasons I'll get to. Okay, let's run through the matchups. In top lane, it is Riven against Garen on the two teams. We've seen here it's going to be a Veigar against Ahri matchup in the mid. Jungling, there's going to be a Jungle Xin Zhao for my team against a Jungle Jax on the enemy team. Jungle Jax not that great right now. It was kind of a questionable pick. And then in bot lane, it's going to be Lucian and Lux on my team against a Jhin and Zoe on the enemy team. Zoe not typically played as a support, but going to be played as a support here. So, as I said, Veigar's kind of specialty is he has infinite AP scaling, and that comes from his passive. So let me go ahead and highlight this here. Veigar is the greatest evil ever to strike at the heart of Runeterra, and he's only getting bigger. Striking an enemy champion with a spell grants Veigar a stack of phenomenal evil, giving him +1 ability power. Takedowns grant an additional 5 stacks. So anytime you hit an enemy champion with an ability, he gains +1 permanent AP, so keep that in mind. So as you harass the enemy team, we see that there was a fight over the Scuttle Crab. Xin Zhao won, Jax was forced to flash out, so blue team's got an immediate little edge there. Keep that in mind. Anytime Veigar hits an enemy champ with an ability, it does have to be ability, it can't be an auto attack, so no AD Veigar unless you're trolling. He gains +1 AP, and that is permanent, +1 ability power for the rest of the game. So he will just scale endlessly. Oh, and every kill gives him 5 AP. It's written as 5 stacks of his passive, but it's basically anytime he gets a kill, he gets +5 AP. So this is noticeably different than how he used to work. He used to get ability power whenever he was using his Q. And anyway, right there, we're going to see Xin Zhao come in and pick up a kill. It was nicely set up by Veigar. He was able to toss down his Event Horizon stun, which I'll talk more about in a minute. Ahri was trapped inside. She kind of needed to flash out of it, but I don't think she even knew that Xin Zhao was there until it was already too late. And at that point, it might have been better just to save the flash. As I was saying, Veigar used to be set up in such a way that he gained his permanent AP stacking off of his Q, but now it is his passive. So it's just anytime you hit an enemy champion with an ability, any spellcast of his, he gains permanent +1 AP. So Xin Zhao is looking to go in and steal the red, and that would be a good idea, except that he was standing on a ward the whole time, and oh, that failed flash is very sad. So Xin Zhao gives back most of his advantage, but Jax is off to a terrible start here. He has 4 minions killed thus far. Really not good. He got, I think he got the 3 at the blue buff, and then he got 1 more random minion somewhere. So that Jungle Jax is off to a horrible start. But Ahri did pick up the kill, so that's going to help their mid laner. Alright, let's run through the rest of Veigar's skills. So we've got a minute here while there's no other action taking place in the game. His Q, I'll highlight first. Baleful Strike unleashes a bolt of dark energy, deals magic damage to the first 2 enemies hit. Killing a unit with this also... Oh, okay. I thought they took this out. So killing a unit also grabs him a stack. Okay. So he does get AP stacking off his Q. Wow. I look bad in this video. I just said they removed that. But no, it's still part of his kit. So he gets stacks from either killing things with his Q or alternately for hitting enemy champions with an ability. And right there, he's going to trap Ahri in the Event Horizon stun. It's a nice job by Ahri to flash out of that, but she's still not level 6 yet. She still can't get out. And Veigar, oh, the auto attack for the kill, plus 5 AP, and picks up double buff in the process because Ahri had them from her previous kill of Xin Zhao earlier in the game. So that's quite nice. This used to be a point-and-click skill back when I was playing the game a number of years ago. Now it is a skill shot. It is a very basic skill shot. It is a straight-line skill shot. But it deals magic damage, and if it kills a unit, then you gain ability power. So, and it does hit 2 targets. So like right there, kills 2 minions, plus 2 AP. And yeah, Veigar's up to plus 40 ability power thus far. And look, I mean, that's 5 minutes into the match. He's got 40 ability power. That's an awful lot of ability power to be picking up. So, yeah, use your Q, max it first, get minion kills with it, hit champions with it, stack up that AP. That's what Veigar is all about. His next skill, his W, is Dark Matter. This is basically his meteor skill, is the way you can think of it. After 1.2 seconds, Dark Matter falls from the sky, deals magic damage. Every 50 stacks of Phenomenal Evil reduces the cooldown by 10%. So that's pretty good. I actually did not know that they have that cooldown reduction there. So I guess eventually you can get the cooldown very low on this. It's a bit of a tricky skill to use because of the delay, because you have that 1 second delay. By the way, you see our team going ahead and taking the Ocean Drake here. So a little bit of a tricky skill to use because of that 1 second delay, or 1.2 second delay, but it synergizes well with his E. That's the little cage you see there. You trap people in it, and oh boy, just pops Ahri there. Veigar hit 6 and got his ultimate. So yeah, his W, the idea is you trap people in his Event Horizon stun, which is one of the stranger skill shots in this game, just due to the way it's shaped. After a half-second delay, Veigar twists the edges of space around the target, forms a pentagon of walls. Enemies who attempt to pass through the perimeter are stopped and stunned for a second and a half. There it is right there. So you see the stun, and oh, another auto attack, taking that plus 5 AP. Yeah, Jax needed to, he probably could have hopped to a minion to get out of that. Alternately, he had a trinket ward up. He could have ward hopped to his trinket, but one thing he couldn't do was walk into the Event Horizon stun and get stunned, because Veigar was then able to hit him with the W and follow it up with another Q, and I don't think Jax has any magic resistance yet. So Veigar off to a fantastic start, 3-0-1, and is going to go ahead and pick up Lost Chapter as he builds towards his Luden's Echo right there. So those are the basic skills. Veigar's ultimate, I'll just highlight this as well, Primordial Burst. Blast the target enemy champ with primal magic, deals magic damage, increased damage based on target's missing health. So this is basically an execute. As the enemy champ gets lower, it deals more damage. This also used to be a point-and-click skill. I believe it is also a straight-line skill shot now. I am not 100% sure on that because I don't play Veigar. Really, probably should have just grabbed him for a bot game before doing this video. But I believe that this is also a straight-line skill shot and not just point-and-click the way it was back in like 2010 when I was more familiar with Veigar. So that's his kit. His kit's all based around stacking up as much ability power as possible. He is very good at doing that. You can see Veigar already has 70 ability power right now, which means he's already got 10% cooldown reduction on that Dark Matter skill. So he just stacks this up throughout the game, and if the game goes on long enough, again, he can get theoretically an infinite amount of ability power, although in practice that won't happen. Big disadvantage, again, is no escapability skills. He has very low base health, so he is quite vulnerable. Oh, watch this. We're going to get ganked, and I hit the awesome double stun right there with the Lux... Well, not stun, but the double Lux Binding, and then the less awesome getting hit by the Paddle Star from Zoe. One reason why Veigar does match up reasonably well with Ahri is because he's got that Event Horizon stun. Ahri cannot dash through it. Again, enemies who attempt to pass through it. Ahri does not, Ahri's dash is not a flash. So if she tries to dash through the cage, the Event Horizon stun, she will get stunned. So if you drop this if you use this against Ahri and you put her in the middle of it, she really does have difficulty getting out. So like right there, a nice dodge on the charm, and then Veigar is going to hit on a Q and hit on an R, hit on his ultimate, and Ahri just explodes because Ahri is pretty far behind in this lane. And again, when you trap somebody inside the Event Horizon stun, it is difficult to get out of that. So Veigar just off to a fantastic start, farming, plus 90 ability power and 212 on the game. I mean, he's got a Lost Chapter and a Blasting Wand, and he's got 200 ability power. It's pretty crazy that he gets that much this early in the game. And that's pretty much the basics of this gameplay. You don't really want to play Veigar into an enemy champion that can dodge around his stuff. Like, he's one of the worst champions you can pick to be up against, like Kassadin, because Kassadin will just blink over the Event Horizon stun. But in the right matchup against a champion who relies on maneuverability in order to survive in the lane, it can be a pretty good counter pick occasionally, and Veigar has been played as a support occasionally in the competitive scene, just largely due to taking that Event Horizon Stun. Alright, so Ahri's been trapped yet again. There is the W, and there's a Q, and yeah, she's like almost dead. Forced out of lane again. This lane is just not going well. Ahri fell behind, now she's really far behind, and that just makes it tough. Meanwhile, let's check in down here in the bot lane. Jhin recalled back to base, and we were getting in some harass on this Zoe player. So if you keep an eye on this watch, we're going to hit Zoe right there, and she's getting relatively low. So I was like, alright, Zoe, she's here by herself, she's low on health, she really shouldn't be here. So like, I'm going to toss out that, I'm going to miss on that, but I hit another Lux pool, and I was like, alright, if I laser her, she's going to die, right? And yeah. So just sticking around lane very low. She did not have flash up. Okay, they swapped the roles, I was looking at the wrong lane. Anyway, in mid here, we're going to see... Let me just back up so we can watch this fight here in mid. Alright, so Veigar's shoving tower. He's going to get ganked by Jax from behind, but Jax does walk over a ward, so puts down the Event Horizon Stun to try and cage Jax. It doesn't get Jax, but it does time out Jax's counter-strike. So now he's going to go in, he's going to use the ults to kill Jax. Ahri's going to dash in. A nice barrier usage by the Veigar player. Shin is going to come in, he's going to flash after Ahri, gets the knockup, and then a Q finishes it off. So a double kill for Veigar. Really nicely played. I love the use of the barrier when Ahri dashed in there. So scores a double kill, gets all 4 of the tower plates, and this lane is just not going the way that the enemy team wants here. Veigar 6-0-0 with a 1,000 kill bounty. Some nice combo play at times between Veigar and Xin Zhao. They are just off and rolling in this lane and doing a great job. And they're even going to get the first tower bonus as well right here. So Veigar is just like stupidly far ahead at this point in time. He is sitting on 3,000 gold, and Shin's sitting on 2,000 gold, so they have so much money to go back and spend after this is over. Let's see what he picks up here back at the store. He finishes Ludens. That is, what, an 11-minute Ludens, and he also gets a Seeker's Arm Guard and a stopwatch. Good stuff. Actually, no, he's just changed his mind. Going for, okay, Needlessly Large Rod and, oh geez, Needlessly Large Rod and Cirque Shoes. That's a lot of Magic Pen. 320 ability power at 11 minutes, plus Cirque Shoes. That's pretty scary. Meanwhile, down there, we're able to pick off another kill on the Zoe player. So we get that one, and then we take Dragon while that's going on too. So, oh, you know what? That was actually probably my best kill of the game. So let's go back and see this, just so we can watch this. All right, so back up. Watch this fight again. I'm going to laser the Zoe player. She gets low. And then we're going to have this fight continuing down here. And Lucian's going to get off a nice ultimate. And then Zoe is still very low. I was like, if I can catch Zoe in a binding, I was like, alright, she's there, so I'm just going to flash in, ignite, and she's dead. Yep, so just went for the aggressive play. I did have to use both summoners, but I think it was worthwhile to get that. And while it was going on, Shin takes the Ocean Drake, so looking good off of that. Have to back up to show my best play from the match, right? The flash in with the ignite, and then Zoe just dies instantly because she can't survive that. Meanwhile, there's a gank going up in top lane. Let's see if Jax can pull this off. It's a nice flash from Riven at just the right moment to escape the counter-strike. And Jax does not flash after. Honestly, he didn't. I'm not sure he even really had enough time to react. Meanwhile, Veigar is just shoving mid because nobody's there because Ahri is back at base. I think Ahri was taking a long time to buy. Note the ward in a good position to watch if Jax is going to come, although Jax is going to come from behind. And let's see. So yeah, Veigar looking to come in here. Jax is like, does he really want to jump on this? Puts down the cage to protect himself and looks like he's totally fine. So, I mean, this mid lane is just really, really one-sided, to say the least. I was in bot lane, so I wasn't watching this as much during the game. Like, I was seeing that Veigar was getting kills, but, like, I wasn't really aware of just how one-sided the game was. And Shin is also having a really nice game as well with the 5 early kills. He's been snowballing that lane. So now Jax is going to come over here, and Jax has just been having a rough game as Jungle Jax. Veigar's going to come in. He's like, oh, you're doing blue buff? Okay, well, thanks very much for that. Jax does get it, but he's forced to flash out of the Event Horizon stun. And he has just been very ineffective on this game. He has farmed okay, but he hasn't really been able to make any plays happen. In the game overall, my team is about 5,000 gold ahead. We have the double ocean, which is super duper nice. It just means that you can spam your skills endlessly and not worry about running out of mana. Great for Veigar because he is a very mana-intensive champion. It means he can just keep tossing out Qs endlessly and keep farming up more ability power. He is at 135 right now, so he's got a what, 19% cooldown? Oh, okay, so there is a limit to how much cooldown reduction you can get on this dark matter. And now he's roaming into the jungle again. There is a ward here to give him some protection, looking to go after this Jax. He wants that blue buff that Jax was able to pick up earlier, and oh boy, that's not good. Let's see, Jax walks into the cage, and Q plus R, yeah. Actually missed on the meteor there, the dark matter, missed on that, but it didn't ultimately matter. Now Garen wants to come play. A new challenger has arrived, but Shin is here again. A nice use of the cage once again, so Garen really cannot get out of this. And it was almost another auto attack kill for Veigar, but instead Shin actually ends up getting the kill. Garen did not have flash up, so he was limited in what he could do. And now Roman down here again. Ari, I'm not sure this is the place you want to be. If that Event Horizon stun comes down, yeah, see, dashes right into the cage, can't get out. And again, that's why Veigar is pretty good against Ari, because if she tries to use her ult to dash out, she just dashes right into the stun. Not quite able to follow that up because ult was on cooldown, but Ari is not having a good game here. It's been pretty rough. Veigar only needs one more kill to go legendary on the game as a whole, and when you're this far ahead, the double ocean is so nice to have. Really, not much to say other than that. Now Veigar's doing what he should do. He got the tower in mid, and now he's roaming, and now he's coming down here. And Jhin, I mean, it's a nice job to flash that. Does dodge the dark matter, dodges the Q. Let's see, another dark matter's up. Oh boy, okay, wow. Well, Veigar missed almost all of his skill shots there, but he managed to hit one dark matter and then follow it up with the ultimate, the primordial burst, and that was that. Just melted him instantly. So there is going to be a drowsy bubble here, but the problem is Jax jumps into that Event Horizon stun, and again, I'm not sure he's aware of just how strong Veigar is right now. I'm going to use the laser to take out maybe about a third of Zoe's health. And we're just pushing on this tower because what else are we going to do? We already have the tower in mid. I mean, I guess Ari is shoving on this tower here, but there's not much we can do. Not much they can do to stop us from pushing mid. Veigar probably spending a little too much time out of mid because Ari should not be able to deny this many minions on the tower. Like, that is a mistake. Veigar should have been there to get this farm. There's no reason for Ari to deny 20 minions and take a tower here. That said, Ari is sticking around too long, but she does get the tower, so it's arguably worth it to get that. Oh, Shin fails his flash. That's very sad. Yeah, I mean, arguably it is worth it to die to get that tower because Ari has already died 5 times. And is she even going to get out of here? Like, we're checking all the spots in the jungle, but she's going to recall there, and Lucian, he's right here. He needs to check this spot, but Lucian does not check that spot. And so Ari makes it out. So saving Private Ari, she gets the tower, she denies like 2 full waves of minions, and then after that she actually manages to recall and get out. So a very nice play on her part, having a rough game. Someone not having such a great game, Zoe, she really stuck around too long there. No way to escape. If Lucian hadn't gotten the kill, I would have. And I actually made a minor mistake there. I should have tossed the shield on Lucian when he was using the culling, just so I would get an assist when he got the kill, because I actually didn't get an assist there. Quietly, Xin Zhao is also controlling the entire map. Note that he took the first 2 dragons, now he's taking the 3rd dragon. It is easier to do this, of course, when we're ahead, but, I mean, this is what you want to do as a good jungler. Control the buffs, control the neutral objectives, take those Scuttle Crabs, take those dragons, take the Rift Herald, and eventually take Baron. If you're consistently taking dragons, you are likely to win the game just because they are really strong. All of them are. Even though people make fun of the Cloud Drakes, they're actually quite good. And the Ocean Drakes, I've already mentioned, are great laning early on. Mountain is the weakest of the dragon types, but, I mean, it opens up fast Baron plays, so it's not to be sneezed at either. Anyway, let's get back to Veigar here for a second, because Veigar has had a chance to go back and buy, and he has finished a death cap at 17 minutes. He has 600 AP at 17 minutes. What the heck is going on here? He's so strong. In fact, he says so much AP. Look at that auto attack. He takes out, I don't know how much tower health, but a fair amount of it. Meanwhile, down here, the enemy team has grouped this 4. They actually did manage to kill both of us. But the only reason they're able to do that is because they've just left Veigar alone. And jeez, look at these auto attacks on the tower. It's just incredible that an AP mage is doing that much damage on auto attacks to the tower. Now, Garen's actually going to flash in on him. And this is pretty good from Garen because Veigar is not well equipped to deal with a tanky champ like Garen right on top of him. And he's actually going to use his ult and gets the shutdown because I believe that Veigar was the nemesis or the enemy. What's the term for this? The villain. Veigar was the villain, so Garen got the bonus damage on using his ult. against Veigar, and appropriately so. Veigar definitely was the villain for their team in this game. So red team made some nice plays there. They've gotten back to about 5,000 gold behind by killing Veigar, getting the 1,000 gold shut down, and they also made a nice play bot. But they are still losing, like they just had their inhib and mid exposed. Xin Zhao is taking advantage of this time to go ahead and claim the Rift Herald, so we'll have that available as well for use on a future push. A nice play from him. There wasn't really anything up to get. The only other thing to grab was maybe this bot tower. So he just takes advantage of the fact that the lanes are really shoved in, grabs the Rift Herald, it's free, and now we have that up for fighting in the future. And now he's going to look to go after Ahri. She should be okay with her ult. Does she have her ult? No, she doesn't have her ult up, so scratch that. Actually was in some real trouble there, but ultimately does skip out of there. And our team is going to look to regroup right now and see where we can assess the next fight's going to be. 2 towers down in top, 2 towers down in mid. The bot lane is clearly where we should be looking to go yet, so I am just going to look to get some vision. Our team ended up deciding they wanted to go into the enemy team's jungle, so I'm going to look to try to help out there, tossing the shield onto the assist. And now here, going to get the binding onto Garen, just get some lane harass. Mostly I'm trying to get vision down in their jungle, so like we've got a ward here, and we really need to get a ward here. Shin is going to steal their red, so good stuff happening over here. And meanwhile, Veigar is chasing. Looks like he wants to make a play on Sleepy Trouble Bubble. I was going to say, looked like he wanted to make a play on, on the Ahri here. Ahri is going to dash, but Zoe's come back in, and yeah, this is not... Oh, Zoe walks right into the stun. But let's face it, where could she really go, right? She had just used her ult, so she couldn't port out. If she walks back, Veigar just kills her. And Zoe did not have flash up, so yeah, there was nothing she could do. It was a nice Event Horizon stun from Veigar. He easily gets that kill. So inhib being taken up there in mid. Meanwhile, Riven is dueling in this lane with Jax, and oh, who's got it? Riven does have it, so very close fight, but she comes out on top. And this has turned into kind of a laugher of a game because our team is really, really far ahead. We can basically do anything we want at this point. We really should look to just group and take Baron, and in fact, that's what's being pinged right now. So, again, when you're really far ahead, we have an inhib down in mid. We have them being forced to defend the Nexus Tower in top. They're shoved so far back into their base, there's not a lot they can do. So what do? Look to go ahead and just take the Baron here. Veigar actually started it by himself earlier. I should point out once again, we have like perfect dragons for doing this. We have double ocean, so if you look at Veigar, do you see the little aura around Veigar? He is actually healing, thanks to the Ocean Drake, the whole time this is going on. And with the Mountain Drake, we're dealing bonus damage to Baron. So again, it's pretty easy to take. What is the total damage bonus? It is 16% damage to epic monsters like Baron. 16% damage as true damage. And that's significant because Baron has pretty high armor and magic resist, so when that gets turned into true damage, you shred it down much faster. Veigar's had a chance to go back and buy right now, so let's get another look in on him. He's actually picked up a Soul Stealer, so I mean, why not at this point? 700 ability power. He has 202 from his passive. His Q deals, oh my god, his Q deals, what, almost 700 damage? His W, which is actually a skill that deals the most damage, oh my god, deals 1,000 damage, and 34% reduced cooldown thanks to his stacks. That is insane. He doesn't get anything from AP on his cage, and then his ult deals as much as 500 plus 1,100 damage if someone's missing health. So really good against a champion that has that is health stacking, by the way. Now up in top lane, Riven has gone off and gotten separated from the team, so Riven is going to die, but Cavalry's on its way. Here comes me as Lux support, here comes Veigar. I'm going to use the laser onto Jhin, and that's going to force him to flash. He has to get out of the cage, so not a kill, but remember, Lux Laser's on a short cooldown. It's on a 50-second cooldown. There's nothing wrong with using Lux Laser for harass, so now we're going to shove on this tower. Xin Zhao has summoned the Rift Herald in bot lane, so that's going to help him shove there. We do have to be a little bit careful because we don't have Xin Zhao with us. Zoe, yeah, blinks out of the cage with her ultimate, but then the portal leads her right back into the cage again, and she just instantly dies. Poor Zoe. She is... Let me swap this. She is 1-8 on the game and having a bit of a rough time in this one. So Xin Zhao still just shoving this lane with the help of the Rift Herald. Rest of the team just hanging out, trying to continue to apply the Baron buff to these creeps. But, I mean, at this point, the game's pretty much over. There's very little that the enemy team can do. Veigar's about to, as he gets more stacks on his Magi's, he's about to hit 800 ability power here. We are going to see Shin get kind of low, but, I mean, that Veigar damage to Jhin, he just dies so fast. And at this point, Veigar actually has double stacking right now because he has the stacking on his ultimate or the stacking on his passive when he gets a kill, and then he has the stacking on his Vejais. And really the only one who can stand up to his damage, even a little bit, is Garen, because Garen is reasonably tanky. Garen has 100 MR. No one else in the team has anything. So anyway, the rest of the team's going to back, so let's just speed this up to double speed so you can watch. Well, I'll slow it down again. Go back to normal speed. So at this point, like, we can take the dragon. The game can, you know, we can basically do anything we want. We're 10,000 gold ahead. But it's actually not going to end up mattering because this is right where the enemy team's going to surrender. That's why I fired off the Lux Laser, and that's going to put an end to this one. So, yeah, fast game. Short game, 24-minute game, but it was a good example to show off the Veigar gameplay, and I thought I had a pretty decent game as well, although you didn't see as much of me in that one. So overall, a good summary of Veigar's gameplay. Like I said, he stacks AP, that's what he does. He stacks lots and lots of ability power, and if you want to be good at playing Veigar, the key skill to use with him is using his Event Horizon stun. Like, that's what his whole gameplay is based around. If you can consistently put that down in a way that it gets the stun off, which is not easy to do, it's a tricky skill to use, but if you can use it effectively, he can be pretty strong, especially in a matchup like that against Ahri. Veigar's a pretty good counter to Ahri due to the fact that she can't dash out of the Event Horizon stun. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this little short game here to get a taste of some of the Veigar gameplay. Until next time, hope you guys are having a great week. Until then, see you soon. Take care.